Hello, my name is Vernal Path, and today I'm going to be reviewing Crab Champions. Crab Champions is an early access roguelike arcade shooter made by Noisestorm, the DJ behind the Crab Rave meme. It became available to play on April 1st, 2023 to extremely positive reviews despite the game being slightly barebones. Today, however, with much attention to community and consistent updates, the game is no longer barebones and well worth the $9.99 price point on Steam. The start of the game consists of the following. You land in a hub world that is gorgeous, it nails the beach feel, and it's absolutely a place that crabs would hang out at. The hub world is where you will create your loadout among other things. This loadout consists of one of 16 weapons, one of 5 abilities, and one of 3 melee weapons. For the main weapons, I will be naming them and going over each and every one of their strengths and weaknesses as well as giving them a rating. To start things off, we've got the standard auto rifle. It is the most standard, typical weapon in the game. It does roughly 50 damage per second, it carries 40 bullets, and has a decent reload speed. The most vanilla weapon you could think of. It is 5 out of 10, straight in the middle. Up next, we have the dual shotguns. These do roughly 120 damage per second if you hit all the shots. It has 6 bullets, 3 in each shotgun, and you can fire them separately. These are quite fun with synergies that you get while playing the game. 7 out of 10. Third, we have the dual pistols. These are fairly accurate, deal around 48 damage per second, and carry 24 bullets, 12 in each clip. Again, you can fire these separately. I'm not the biggest fan of these though, as they don't really fit my playstyle, so I'm going to give them a 4 out of 10. Coming up is the auto shotgun. It is a fully automatic shotgun that carries 16 bullets and does roughly 72 damage per second if you hit all 7 pellets. This weapon is very strong, however, the reload speed is ridiculously long. Makes up for it, makes it balanced. Still a very fun weapon to play with though. 8 out of 10. On to the burst pistol. The burst pistol is a single pistol that fires a burst of 4 bullets that deal 5 damage each, totaling up to 55 damage per second while carrying 36 bullets. This combines the accuracy of something like a sniper rifle, but fires a little faster and deals a little less damage. I understand the appeal, but it's not for me. This is a 6 out of 10. Speaking of which, up next is the sniper. It's a single shot weapon with pinpoint accuracy that deals 40 damage per bullet for a DPS of 80. The reload is about as slow as the auto shotgun, but it carries 10 bullets. The sniper is one of my personal favorites. It's hard to get going, but with the right synergies, it will one-shot bosses. It is a solid 9 out of 10. Up next is the flamethrower. The flamethrower is a shorter range weapon, boasting 45 ammo and dealing about 52 damage per second with the added bonus of applying stacks of flame, which deal bonus damage over time. I love this thing. It's very fun. It's very powerful. This is also a 9 out of 10. Next, we have the newest weapon to be added to our crabby arsenal. It's the Seagull. It's a step closer to the sniper rifle than the burst pistol. It's a single shot, fires pretty quickly, and deals 25 damage per shot with a carrying capacity of 12 for about 100 damage per second. Very accurate, funny name, and a great pun. 8 out of 10. The laser cannons are what's on the chopping block next. These things start with 50 bullets, 25 in each gun, and can be fired separately. They deal about 64 damage per second, with each individual bullet dealing 2 damage. They are insanely fast firing, but very low damage. 5 out of 10. They look cool though. Next, we have my all-time favorite, the crossbow. The crossbow fires a spread of 7 bullets, each doing 4 damage apiece. The spread can be made tighter when you aim down the sights. If you manage to land all bullets on a target, you'll be doing 84 damage per second. The crossbow synergizes the best with all of the perks and weapon mods you'll find in the game, in my opinion. 10 out of 10. Up next is the orb launcher. The orb launcher fires a stream of blue orbs that deals 6 damage apiece, totaling out to about 100 DPS. This weapon is much more accurate up close, as the orbs tend to move to the sides once they reach a further range. With certain perks, this weapon will shred though. 8 out of 10. You know what's better than bullets though? Rockets. The rocket launcher is next. It carries 5 rockets, and they each do splash damage, all dealing 30 damage to enemies near it. It fires once a second, but with the right mods, you can have a never-ending rocket minigun. However, if you don't, the damage falls off very quickly, especially in harder difficulties. 6 out of 10. Speaking of miniguns, we've got the minigun next. The minigun has 200 bullets, starts off slow, but very quickly ramps up in speed. This makes it a little hard to tell the damage per second, but I'll do my best. On the lower end, it looks like it's around 20 damage per second, and on the upper end, it looks like it's around 75 damage per second. This thing will shred through basic mobs. 7 out of 10. If you ever want to channel your inner serial killer, the blade launcher has got you covered. The blade launcher is a semi-quick weapon boasting 9 shots that deal roughly 48 damage per second while piercing the first target. This thing smashes with the bouncing shot perk, and it gets incredibly busted very quickly. 9 out of 10. Okay, but who needs rockets when you have grenades? The cluster launcher is a grenade launcher that launches, you guessed it, a cluster of grenades. It shoots out 6 grenades, dealing splash damage for roughly 56 DPS. When it comes to elemental builds, this is what you want. Each shot gains a percentage-based chance that an elemental upgrade like Poison Shot gives. 8 out of 10. Okay, but who needs grenades when you have magic? That's the last time I make that joke, I swear. The Arcane Wand is a short-range magic launcher that deals splash damage with a chance to apply Arcane. Arcane is a status effect that deals damage over time corresponding to the amount of stacks applied to the enemy. I really want to like this weapon, however they either need to buff the radius of the splash damage or the percentage chance that the Arcane status effect will proc. This one in its current state is a 4 out of 10. It looks cool though. That's the last of the main weapons. Up next, let's look at the melee weapons. The melee weapons consist of the standard claw, a dagger, and a hammer. The claw's default does damage in 360 degrees around you and is a middle-of-the-line damage. The dagger is much shorter range, only strikes in front, but can be used much faster and more often. The hammer launches you into the air, causing massive AoE damage to wherever you land with a long cooldown. Finally, we have the abilities. We've got your standard grenade. As the flavor text says, it goes boom. Next, we've got a grappling hook. It hurts enemies that it hits, and it allows you to evade a little better. Up next is the black hole. It sucks in enemies and does damage over time to them. It works well if you have a rocket launcher or something. Next is a laser beam. It travels almost instantly and explodes in a lasting AoE that does DOT. It's my personal favorite. Finally is the ice blast, which freezes enemies. It's good for getting out of sticky situations, but it doesn't do much damage, and when you try to freeze a boss, it doesn't really work. Once you have chosen your loadout from the selection above, you can choose the difficulty and run modifiers. First off, we've got easy. As it says, it's a calming walk on the beach. You start with double health, 25% less enemies spawn, enemies have half health, enemies deal 66% less damage, and enemies are 25% slower. Up next is normal, a light jog in shallow water. This is standard, probably what most people play on. You know what normal is. Everyone knows what normal is. Finally, we have Nightmare Mode. Nightmare Mode is a sprint through lava. You start with 25% less health, 75% more enemies spawn, enemies have 50% more health, deal 50% more damage, and move 33% faster. However, you get one extra key free every time you gain a key. What's a key, you ask? Well, a key is how you unlock things in the game. See, there's a totem in the hub that you can offer 2 keys to either unlock a weapon or skill to use in-game. Once everything is unlocked, you can still pay 2 keys once a run to get a random starting item if you'd like. Really get that variety started right away. After all that, you're ready to begin a run. You can go solo or play with friends. A standard run consists of going through 3 biomes, each with 10 levels. You start in the beach biome, and each level you battle waves of enemies, typically other crabs, and at the end you get a reward. This reward is a choice of one of 3 perks out of 252. Yes, 252. That's a lot of variety. This reward depends on the portal that you go through at the end of your level. The types of portals are as follows. Elemental, which gives you a choice of an elemental upgrade, i.e. poison, fire, arcane. There is speed, which gives you a variety of things to make your entire build faster, such as movement speed, reload speed, and fire rate. There's damage, which just gives you a choice of damage upgrades. There's elite, which allows you to fight against a boss early to guarantee a purple rarity pickup. There's also the luck portal. This gives you items that pertain to things such as chance-based perks, auto-reloading upon killing an enemy, or making totems that you find in your runs more likely to pay out. There's a parkour, which is a peaceful parkour map. The faster you complete it, the better the reward. You can get up to a purple reward and down to a single health upgrade. Speaking of health, you can also just go through a health portal. This will give you healing, armor, or max HP. There's also critical, which gives you a critical chance items the first time, and every time after that gives you items that you can build off of. It will not give you an item that requires a critical hit if you cannot produce those critical hits. There are also spike portals, which will give you a spiked chest. These guarantee a purple or higher rarity at the cost of a percentage of your health. There are also greed chests. These will make it so the game is easier and harder at the same time. High risk, high reward. And finally, the shop. You can heal here, purchase items, take a break, do whatever. It's usually right before the final boss of the biome. While you are on your run, you will find all sorts of things to keep gameplay fresh. Map obstacles, hidden chests, totems that can do a number of things from randomizing your run to doubling or halving your HP. Once you've reached level 10, you will fight your first real boss. This boss is the gateway to the next biome, the ice biome. Once you defeat the first boss, you will get 3 chests, a key chest, a purple chest, and a health chest. Then you'll be moved on to the next biome where you'll automatically get a damage chest on the first level. The ice biome is, well, icy. You'll be slipping around and there are lots of pitfalls. This is where the game really starts to introduce the level design being against you as much as the enemies are. Up next is the lava biome. You cannot walk through lava, but enemies can, and many more enemies will spawn, and many more explosive enemies will spawn. This is the final biome. At the end, you will fight a final boss that is stronger than the other ones. If you defeat him, you will gain 3 keys, 6 if on the hardest difficulty, a health chest, and a gold chest. The gold chest guarantees a legendary item. From there, you can decide if you want to loop the run and try to keep getting stronger with the same build, or if you're done and want to unlock more stuff or just try something else. Once you're bored with the standard run, there's 3 other mini games you can play. A good old-fashioned race against the clock to get a high score, see how long you can last without getting hit in a progressively harder level, and a duel between your friends. Who doesn't love a PvP fight? For replayability, it is endless. I have 139 hours in this game and I still keep playing it. There are 69 Steam achievements to unlock, 70 challenges to unlock cosmetics, and there are rankings for each weapon that correspond to the difficulty and amount of loops you completed with that weapon, with the highest being Diamond. Now, let's talk about the music. The music slaps. It's so good. I mean, what would you expect from the guy that made Crab Rave? It's upbeat, it's fun, and it really fits the vibe of the game. I usually play my games without music or while listening to a TV show or something, but I always have the music going with this game. It's just so much fun to listen to while playing. And that's it. This game is genuinely an amazing roguelike. It really nails the pick up and play style of gameplay that I think a lot of people yearn for. As stated before, it's $10. It's in early access with all of this content already, and it's a damn steal. The dev is always talking, he's always active in the community, he's always updating it, and he's always taking suggestions. Please give this game a try. With that, I hope you have a wonderful day, be nice to one another, and please take care of yourself.